Hello guys, welcome to the channel Ads with Lovnik. So this is the part 2 of Meta Ads Lead Gen course. So in the part 1 we have already covered the objective that you have to use from engagements or leads for any businesses, be it local business or high ticket like real estate, educational course, be it anything. And then we have already covered the conversion locations and the bidding strategy and the campaign budget strategy. So all of these we have covered in the part 1. So if you haven't watched the part 1 yet, I would suggest you to watch part 1 first and then continue with the part 2. So now let's start with the part 2. So before we start, I will just quickly show you some results that I have generated for my clients so that you know from where the advice is coming from. So in this account, as you can see, I have spent somewhere around 1.5 lakhs, and these are the number of leads I have generated: 20848 at a cost per result of just 311, 47 and 77. Now let's go and check the another account. So in this you can see I have spent 20,000 on the lead gen campaign and I have generated 142 leads at a cost per result of 142. Now there is one more we have, and here I have spent 2.90 lakhs as of now, and see the results: 84, 23, 9, 22, and the cost per result or cost per lead is 112, 67, 755, 165 and so on. And there is one more I want to show you. So here the amount spent is 72,000 for December month only, and then there are some of the lead gen campaigns. These are not a lead form or website form but messaging conversations. Okay, and now let's see what we have in the part 2. So in the part 2 we will discuss the audience settings till the placement settings, what you should be using as per your business and the client requirements. So let's talk about the first thing, which is audiences. So if you see there, this thing is mentioned, which is advantage plus is on. So if you are advertising for local businesses, you can keep this thing on, which is advantage plus on, and I will tell you the reason in the coming part of the video that why I'm saying that you can keep it turned on. But if you are generating leads for high ticket businesses like real estate or high or be it high ticket educational courses or anything like that, be anything which is high ticket, I want you to keep this off and heavily rely on your targeting approach. And I will also cover the targeting part as well, like what is the best approach and best way you can target for to reach out your customers or your right persona. Now why I'm saying to keep this advantage plus setting on for your local businesses clients, this is because when you are marketing for local businesses, you will be targeting only a smaller region, maybe a radius of 5 kilometers or 2 kilometers or 10 kilometers, but not more than that, right? So in such cases your audience size will be much smaller in size. So you can, if you want, you can keep this advantage plus thing on. It doesn't bother you much. Okay, now coming to the location, as I mentioned, you can do the radius targeting. You just add the location of your store here in the search location section, and once you find out, just click on it and then set a radius around it, be it 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. But usually I would suggest that you should be starting with max 5 kilometers, and then gradually you can improve from there if you want to increase your reach. Now this is about the location. Then we scroll down. Okay, so here we are have some more controls, which is minimum age, so that you can decide according to your business, like from which age group you want the ads, from the age group that you want to target, and then exclude these custom audience. Now this is very important, and I have seen many accounts in which people do not usually exclude anything from their lead gen campaigns, and this is where they go wrong. Instead, what I suggest is always exclude the people who have already engaged or submitted the lead form or started a messaging conversation, if that is your goal of the campaign. So if the past goal of the campaign was that you were generating leads through messaging conversation or from the website form or from the instant forms, whatever it is, you have to exclude these custom audiences from the campaign, so your ads get delivered to the new audience always. And in some cases you don't need to exclude the locations, which I will talk about in the later part of the video, like in what scenarios you don't need to exclude the locations. Language, you can keep all, or maybe if you want to target some specific language, then you can also do that, and it will also help you in narrowing down the audiences, right? If you are generating leads for a local business, and locations matters a lot in that region. So what you can do is you can just target on location, and you will be closer to reach your target persona. Now there is some more options which is include these custom audience. So this is not required if this is a top of funnel campaign, and usually in lead gen you will be getting the top of funnel campaign, you won't be following the full funnel approach. So in this also you can keep it as it is. I won't recommend you for lead gen campaigns to use lookalikes or custom audiences heavily, right? You can just rely on interest based targeting, or for local businesses broad targeting as well. Okay, and again there is the age settings that you can do accordingly as per your business, and then there is gender, which again you can select as per your business requirements, and then there is retail targeting. Now under the retail targeting, for if you are doing it for local businesses, there is no issue if you can keep it open as well, because again I have mentioned multiple times, when you are targeting a smaller region, be it 5 kilometer 10 kilometer radius, you don't need that much of targeting because you are already targeting a very niche area. But still, if you think the targeting area is good in size, then I would just only recommend you to add one single interest that is highly relevant for your business, and not more than that. So if you have a pet care store, just add one interest related to pet care which is the most relevant to your business. That is it. You don't have to theme the interest for local businesses, or narrow down the interest with other interests. So these such type of things you don't have to do for local businesses. So this is what I would do while creating the audiences for local business client that with the goal of leads. Now let's talk about the other businesses that are not local, right? So for that, the first thing that you need to do is you have to come here, further limit the reach of your ads, and then you have to again click on further limit the reach of your ads, and then you can click on continue. And why we are doing that for other businesses is because we don't want the advantage plus feature for such campaigns and for such audiences. Why is that? Because when we have a good geography to target, let's say if we are targeting whole Delhi or pan India or some metro cities, so if we are doing targeting like that, we have, or we already have a much bigger audience size. Okay, so we don't want the advantage plus things to go on, but we want to rely on the targeting approach that we have, and that I would going to recommend you as well, which has helped me generate thousands of qualified leads for my clients. Okay, now locations, again you can select it accordingly as per your business. So if you want to target Delhi, if you want to target pan India, you can do it accordingly. Okay, now age will also be targeted accordingly, and the gender as well. Again, the custom audiences, there you need to exclude the people who have already submitted your lead gen form, be it on website or instant forms, or whether they have started a messaging conversation. So all of these audience you will be excluding from the campaign. But as I said, that in some scenarios the exclusion is not necessary, and when I said that, what I meant by that is, so if you are generating leads for real estate, okay, so now real estate is a high ticket product. So let's say if you exclude some of the people who have filled your lead gen form past few days, be it 7 days or maybe 14 days, okay, but at that time they enroll, and you are marketing for multiple properties. Usually when you are market for real estate, from one page you market multiple properties. Let's say if you are marketing for a builder, or you are if you are marketing properties from let's say any company or any builder. So what you will do is you will be marketing multiple properties, maybe some ranges from 50 lakhs to 1 cr to 1.5 cr. Okay, so in that scenarios, when you are doing that, you don't need to exclude the past people, past leads that came to you, like people who have submitted lead form in the past 7 or 14 days. And why I'm saying that is because even if they submit the lead form again, that first shows higher intent, and that is what you want when you are generating leads for real estate. So if you spend maybe 500 more or 1000 more on the same audience or the same person, then I don't think it really matters. Okay, if the user is interested in submitting the lead form for real estate project, you should let them, you shouldn't restrict them by excluding them if they have already submitted a form. Let's say if you generate leads and you have hundreds of leads a day, okay, and from those hundred of leads, two or three peoples are hot prospects and they are actively submitting the lead gen forms, and what if you exclude them, then the chances of reaching out to them and following up will decrease. Because let's say if the number is at 80th from on the list, or maybe 90th from the list, then you have to first reach 80 people, and then the 81st will come in your list, right? But if they are submitting the leads again, maybe you will see this repetition in your CRM data, or maybe you will see this, okay, this is the hot prospect, this person is actively looking for property, and this needs to be communicated or followed up on priority. Okay, so that's why you should never exclude users from the campaigns if you are doing it for real estate or any high ticket property. I hope I was able to explain it right. And other than that, there is the detailed targeting option. So in my opinion and as per my experience, I don't rely on lookalikes, or maybe mainly lookalikes or broad audience when it comes to high ticket lead generations. And because why I do that, it is not because of my instinct or because I just do it because I believe it, nothing like that, because I have been into the system for more than 5 years now, and I have seen that when you generate leads for high ticket clients, the leads that come from lookalike audiences or broad audiences are not at all good or better than the leads that you create while doing the interest targeting. Doesn't matter what people say that targeting doesn't matter now, or broad targeting is the new way, or meta is taking all the controls. Let them say it, but I will tell you from my experience, for a high ticket product, I just recommend you and I would suggest you to go with the detailed targeting, but do the targeting very precisely, and spend some time on that and find the interests that are relevant for you, narrow the interest with the another layer of relevancy, and you will get better results from the broad and the lookalikes. Okay, so if you follow this approach, I'm sure that you will get better quality leads. Now for detailed targeting, what I want you to do is, I want you to create 1+1 audiences. By 1+1 audiences, what I want is, let's say if you let's say again take an example of real estate. If you are marketing for real estate or advertising for real estate, what I want you to do is, I want to you to create a first uh, you know first theme based interest for people, let's say, who are HNIs. So how you can target HNIs? You can target people in India who prefer high value goods, or you can target frequent international travelers. So these will be your first layer of people, right? You are targeting HNIs because these are your main prospects. Then let's say, I will just show you. So let's say if we add frequent and international travelers, and we target people in India who prefer high value goods. So here it is. Okay, so this is our first layer of interest which are relevant to each other. Okay, now what we will do is, we will define it further, and we will target interest like commercial property. Okay, so this is commercial property, real estate interest. Okay, like that. So now what you can do is, you can define this targeting by adding more interests that are relevant to that. Okay, so maybe expensive taste or anything which you find relevant to these above interests. So it will be a theme of people, right? And then you can narrow down those people with your product. And what is your product? Let's say if you're marketing for commercial property, so you need to mention commercial property as an interest, and you can also add more here in the additional interest part. So what you it will do is it will create a 1+1 interest, or it will help you to laser target the right audiences. And if you and you can create multiple segments of these audiences. So maybe you can in the first, you can target people or target the websites, the all the real estate websites, be it uh, magic breaks or any residential or any commercial property website. Square yards, I don't know square yards is there or not. Once again, let's check. So okay, so square yards is not there, but 99 acres you can target. Okay, so these type of interest you can target, and then you can narrow it down with your product. Let's say if it is a real estate, it is a residential property, you just target residential property here, flats, 3 BHK flats, 4 BHK flats, whatever interests are available. So you can target like that. And it is not for real estate, it is for any other businesses as well. You can follow this theme based theme approach, which I call theme plus theme. Okay, so in the later part of the interest, you only have to add interests that are highly relevant to your product or your product itself. So in the second part, we just want to add product, and in the first part, we have to target people who we think are going to buy our product. Okay, so this is the approach that I follow, and this is the approach that has helped me generate the most amount of qualified leads from the my advertising, from my clients advertising budget, and give them the result that they want. Okay, so this is the targeting thing that we I wanted to talk about. And then there is one other thing which I missed with the local businesses thing. So for local businesses, there is one more thing now. As you know, in the location settings, it is by default reach people living on recently in this location. Now we don't have this option of permanently living in this location. So what happens is, when you are targeting for local businesses, there could be some chances that you will receive leads from other regions as well, and not the one that you're targeting, maybe the closed regions. So in that cases, what you can do is, let's say you are targeting Select City Walk, okay, mall, and this is the location that we want to target. But we are also receiving some queries from other than that as well in the nearby regions. So what we can do is we can use this drop in option, and we can drop around that location, and we can just simply exclude it. Okay, so we can just simply exclude that radius, and we can follow do this similarly for from here and here, and we will have a circle around our targeting location. But just make sure that this exclude location doesn't overlap with your target locations. These two locations, let's say if you drop a pin here and then again do the radius targeting, these two can overlap, but they shouldn't be overlap. And this will help you get the inquiries or leads from your targeting locations only, and not the nearby areas or regions. Okay, so this is the one thing that I missed when I was discussing about the local businesses thing. Now let's go and check what the settings we have at that level. So this you can keep it as is, no requirements, nothing to do here if you are not advertising for security and investment purposes related to content. Nothing required if you are you if you the ads are related to security and investment, so you can just keep it as it is, no need to change anything there. And then the placement option, there is one more thing that I would like to tell you while you are creating the lead gen campaign. So for the placement option, what you can do is, okay, so for placements, what I would highly recommend you is, when you are generating leads, do not use this audience network, because you must have heard that okay, we are generating leads, but there are many people who are saying that they didn't submit the lead form, or they were just watching some video or some website and the lead form got submitted on its own. So all these queries, or maybe we haven't submitted the form, all these queries usually what I have seen is comes from this audience network as a placement. So what I do is, once I create a lead gen campaign, I remove it from the placements of the platform, so you don't need this audience network. And you can also remove these threads as well from your placements. Other than that, you can use Facebook and Instagram, or I would highly recommend to use only these two, Facebook and Instagram. And if you see that some placements are not working, then you can exclude those placements from those platforms, which are Facebook and Instagram. But I don't think that you would need to exclude any particular placement from these two platforms. Facebook and Instagrams or are more than enough for you. Okay, or maybe you can just run a test which platform works for you, be it Facebook or Instagram, and then you can spend all your money on just one particular platform, right? So this is part 2 for the video series on Meta Ads lead gen course. In the part 2, we will discuss other things like the instant form or the ads that you should be using and how should be using. So this is it for the video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.